Welcome to this episode of our podcast where we will be explaining something as simple as breathing can have a big impact on your health, especially in kids. I'm Dr. Dennerson, and I'm here with Mindy Lunsford, our myofunctional therapist today, and we're going to be diving into a topic that is gaining attention fast. That is how myofunctional therapy, obstructive sleep apnea in children, and facial development are all deeply connected. So if you're a parent, caregiver, or a healthcare provider, this one's for you. So let's start with the basics. What is myofunctional therapy?
Well, myofunctional therapy is actually a specific type of therapy that helps to retrain the muscles of the face. It helps with breathing in affecting where the tongue resting posture is and the swallow. It also helps with chewing and speech development. You can think of it as physical therapy for your face. And improper function of these things can be detrimental to the development of the face. So myofunctional therapy can also help with maximizing your child's potential for their facial development.
So here's a key concept. Tongue posture.
Tongue posture is really critical. It's one of the things that helps to shape the face, and it's also really important for supporting nasal breathing and can affect the swallow. And when the tongue is out of posture and is resting in a low position, then you can get the result of a narrow palate, which can affect nasal breathing because the roof of the mouth is the floor of the sinuses. So as that palate narrows, it creates a vault in the palate. So we can get some issues with some obstruction of the breathing areas when the tongue is out of position. So tongue posture is really critical in myofunctional therapy.
So myofunctional therapists use specific exercises to correct that tongue position, improve health, breathing, support better swallowing, and the development of the face. So now let's talk about obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA for children. Now, when we think about obstructive sleep apnea, we don't think about children. We think about adults. But kids can have it too. It happens when the airway becomes partially or completely blocked during sleep, usually due to enlarged tonsils or adenoids or a narrow palate. Now, the signs, they're not always as obvious. Loud snoring, mouth breathing, bedwetting, and even ADHD-like behaviors can all be clues. So what's scary is that many of these kids go undiagnosed because sleep disorders and sleep issues aren't the first thing that pediatricians think of when it comes to a child struggling in school or having difficulty in their behavior. So untreated pediatric OSA can affect growth, cognitive development, and even heart health. That's why early recognition and prevention is the key and is crucial.
So let's connect the dots. Breathing isn't just about air. It affects the way that our face is shaped. So when a child primarily breathes through their mouth, it creates a wider face. It can enhance their cheekbones, helps with their jaw development. But when they're breathing through their mouths, then all of those structures elongate. We get a longer jaw shape, we get underdeveloped cheekbones, and we get crowding of the teeth. So those of you who have your kids in orthodontics because of crowded teeth really need to take a look at the way that they're breathing. It all goes back to tongue posture. Tongue resting in that high posture helps with that facial development. And that's one of the critical things that we need to look for and that we work on as a myofunctional therapist. It supports that forward, upward facial development and helps with the tooth alignment because it kind of acts as a retainer in the inside placing that it's at and supports that forward facial growth.
Yeah. So without that, you end up with a very narrow palate, and then the airway suffers. So that's why airway-focused dentists like myself and orthodontists are really looking and changing the way that we think about braces. So we're asking, is this a structural issue, or is there an underlying functional problem that needs to be addressed first? So where does myofunctional therapy come in?
It's not myofunctional therapy isn't a standalone therapy, but it plays a powerful role in a multidisciplinary approach to treating these types of conditions. So whether a child has enlarged tonsils, they're in need of braces or it currently in braces if they need palatal expansion. But myofunctional therapy can help support better outcomes from all of these by reinforcing correct muscle tone and breathing development and habits. Therapists often work on encouraging nasal breathing, strengthening tongue muscles, improving swallow, and eliminating habits like thumb sucking and teeth grinding and tongue press.
So therapy is most effective when started at about what age?
At about 4 years of age.
4 years old. 4 years old. And the results? Parents often report that their children have more energy, they're doing better in school, they get better sleep, and even have clearer speech.
If you're a parent, what should you be looking for? If your child is snoring, if they're breathing with their mouth open at night or during the day, do they have dark circles under their eyes? Do they grind their teeth at night? Is their speech affected or unclear or lots of errors in the sounds that they're making? Do they drool past the age of 3 or 4 years old? Or have they been diagnosed with ADHD and medication seems to be ineffective for them? Those could all be signs that a deeper airway issue could really be the problem, and myofunctional therapy can help with that.
Start by talking to an airway-aware pediatric dentist or an ENT. And even in our office, where we address these issues, when we have someone like Mindy helping out with children with myofunctional therapy, we offer a free consultation. So you're welcome to call us and come in, and we'd love to talk about what's going on with your children. Resources like the American Academy of Physiological Medicine and Dentistry, the Breathe Institute, and MyoMunchie offer great information on the internet and for families. So, just to recap, the way a child breathes doesn't just affect their lungs. It shapes their face, their sleep, their behavior, and their lifelong health. Myofunctional therapy is a powerful, gentle way to support healthy development from the inside out. And if you found this episode helpful, please leave a review or share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, because next time we'll be diving into more myofunctional therapy and sleep disorder breathing.